everyone, and welcome to the second video on my very own channel. Thanks for joining us today. Today we are going to be doing a sewing tutorial. How to make car seat covers. So first, let's go over the things you're going to need. You're going to need 2 yards of fabric. Now I have 1 yard of my blue narwhal fabric and 1 yard of my pink hummingbird fabric. You can do 2 yards of the same fabric if you want, but I chose to do 2 different yards. You're also going to need your rotary cutter and rotary mat if you have them, or fabric scissors if you don't, matching thread, some matching ribbon, and if you want a matching trim, you can do that as well. The final thing you're going to need, which you probably didn't expect, is a plate. So, the first step is we're going to round the corners of our fabric. To make sure that you have evenly rounded corners, you're going to use a plate as your template. So you're going to take the plate and match it up so that you can round your corners. You're going to round the corners that are not on the fold. So your raw edge corners are the ones you're going to round. Now I'm using a small plate, but you can use any size plate you like. Perfect, so that's our rounded corners, simple as that. For our next step, we're going to pin these 2 pieces together, right sides together, so wrong sides facing out. Now the next step is going to be sewing these edges together so that you make a nice seam. I'm going to do that on my serger. If you don't have a serger, a sewing machine will work just fine. Just be certain to zigzag your edges and then do a straight seam. The serger just saves that extra step as it overlocks and does a straight seam at the same time. Back to where you started, make sure to leave a good sized opening because we have to turn this back inside out. So make sure you have an opening. So our next step is to turn this inside out so you can see the cute prints you've chosen. That's why we had to leave that extra hole. So I just stick my arm in there, grab the opposite corner, and pull it out. Now keep in mind it's a small hole and there's a lot of fabric, so don't pull too hard because you don't want to tear anything. But we're just going to turn this inside out. And if you need to put your arm in there to kind of bring your corners out a little, that of course is perfectly fine. Because we want to make sure that everything is looking the way you want it to look. So now we've turned it inside out and we can see our cute prints that we've chosen. Next, we're going to iron this flat along those seams so that it doesn't lay weird and just be kind of a floppy mess. So make sure that your iron is heated to the appropriate temperature depending on the kind of fabric that you have. So I have mine set to the cotton setting and I'm going to iron on the cotton side of my car seat cover. So make sure that you get those seams as flat as you can before you iron. If you have an ironing ham, shove that inside and use that because that's going to get the neatest pressed hem for you. Pressed seam, excuse me. So I'm just going to press these flat. If you don't have an ironing board, I feel your pain. I did not have an ironing board until like last week. My husband bought me this nice ironing board for Mother's Day, complete with a handy iron holder for when I am not holding the iron. But you can use a towel on top of any flat surface. So your kitchen table, your sewing desk, whatever you have available to you. If you can't get your seams perfectly flat, I would err on having the side that you're planning to be the outside of your cover be just a little bit over the edge. Don't leave your iron on the fabric too long, you will burn holes in it. Do as I say, not as I do, right? Of a tedious process, but it's so worth it in the end to have everything just look nice and neat. Now here I've reached my hole where I pulled everything through. So what you're gonna have to do here is kind of fold it under. Probably the best thing to do is to pin it and just give it a little tuck so that you can iron that down. careful if you're using plastic headed pins that you don't melt your pin to your fabric. But go ahead and press that down a little where you've pinned it and leave those pins in because you'll be sewing that down later. Now would be a good time while you've got your iron out to just iron out any other wrinkles in your fabric. Cotton can get pretty wrinkly, and if you want your car seat cover to be nice, pristine and cute or masculine, I'm having girls, so cute. Having girls, I have girls. We're just going to sew down that seam so that it will stay flat with stitching. Plus that will close up the hole where we pulled the fabric through. So I'm just going to do a really small close stitch. I'm going to match it up just with the edge, the inside edge of my foot. Now I'm just using a white thread. You can use a colorful thread if you like, and this is the step where you would add trim to the edge if you wanted to do that, and just sew that down as you're sewing down this seam. Next step is to pin where you're going to put the ribbon that you've picked. So what you're going to do is you're going to measure from the edge of your fabric down about 20 inches. Now you may want to check your car seat cover first, or your car seat, and see how the car seat cover is going to fit on the car seat so that you know where you want your ribbons to go that tie onto the car seat handle. I'm doing mine 20 inches down from the edge and 11 inches from the side of the fabric. Also, you'll probably notice that I am wearing a different outfit. It's because my camera battery died and it's a new day now. So 20 inches from the top, 11 inches from the side, and that is where you're going to pin the ribbons that will tie your car seat cover to your car seat. So I have here my ribbon. It's about 30 inches approximately, and you're going to take it and you're going to find the center and you're going to pin that in that spot that you just marked that's 20 inches down and 11 inches from the side. Final step is to sew the ribbon to the car seat cover. You're just going to use a straight stitch. So now your car seat covers are finished. And you'll just tie it to the handle of the car seat with your ribbon in a cute little bow. I can't model it for you on a car seat because my car seats are at the hospital with my babies. But there you have it. Thanks for joining us today in our very first sewing tutorial. I hope that you enjoyed it and that it was helpful for you. Join us again next Monday for our next weekly video.